again. Okay, another video of my Minecraft Breakwater. And now we are at the western arm, so right down the other side of the Breakwater to where I captured my last video. And our western arm is almost all finished now, so I started creating it in the same way that I did with the eastern arm, as you saw in the previous videos, with the lines sort of going out for 16 blocks and then along 4 blocks and then 16 and 4 and 16 and 4 and 16 and 4 all the way to the end, and on both sides and on the sort of segments underwater as well on both sides. And then I had to go back and fill them in so that it was these gradual 4 blocks at a time, and then fill in the actual main platform, and then the slopes on either side and all the bits underwater. So that's the main arm going off in that direction, and this is the western arm. And again, it took a couple of days worth of work for the same reason as I described in the last video. All of these individual lines of 4 took a long time to do, and they're all very tedious, but we got there in the end. And again, I think it extends down to the bottom of the seafloor. Oh no, it doesn't. See, I've still got work to do here, extending it to the seafloor. It just kind of ends here at the moment, on that side at least. But on this side, again, we've got this nice pattern and the gradual slope going down, and then it sort of becomes a bit thinner here because that's the way it is in real life, as you can see from the sky view there. So that took a lot of individual detailing and stuff, and then making these bits a little bit slimmer, but so that you still got the gradual slope effect going on. I've mentioned in previous videos about how it's dark underwater, and I needed to use what are called glow stones to just be able to see what I'm doing. So if I go underwater now, this is a little section of glow stones, and as you can see they're lighting an area around them. So I had to go and place some of these around as I was working and stuff, and as you can see, the slope comes down here underwater and then joins on, comes down a little bit further and a little bit further, and then just stops here. So again, I need to extend this all the way down to the bottom of the sea, but it all takes a very long time, very long time. So I haven't quite got that far yet, but it's coming along nicely. This looks a bit strange at the moment from the pictures that I've been using and stuff. I couldn't quite work out what this structure was. Since then, I've actually visited the Breakwater in real life, and it's a kind of small stable, so I need to reshape it a little bit and put a roof on top and whatever else, but this will be like the stables, because they kept horses here overnight when they were building the actual structure, and they used the horses to drag around the rocks and the rubble that they were using and all other sorts of bits and pieces. Because when they were building the Breakwater, at the start of the building process, there wasn't steam engines invented yet. Steam engines and steam power all sort of came along halfway through the building process, and they used it to help the building process later on. But at first they were using horses, and they kept the horses on here overnight, which is remarkable. There are some other features as well that need to be put on, like there's some kind of pillboxes and stuff which were put onto the Breakwater during the First World War, so that soldiers could stay and look out. But again, they never really saw any action because they were just far too exposed out here, basically in the middle of the sea. But alas, they are still there. I had a little look and a visit. It was all very cool and intriguing. On the real Breakwater as well, if you come down here on the sea facing side, there's a kind of gap and a step up, so I've added that in here as well for a bit of a realistic look. You'll notice that on here on this side at the moment there's none of the blocks yet, the blocks which I described, which are dragged out each month and put onto the side of the Breakwater to replenish what is taken away by the sea. So I still need to go through the long-winded process of putting all of them in there, but they will be eventually, and then it will look really, really cool. And then you come over here to the end of the breakwater, and we've got our lighthouse, which was a pleasure to make after all of the tedious and boring bits of doing all these slope sections and stuff. It was actually really, really nice to get out some pretty white stones and make the breakwater, make the lighthouse even. And as you can see, there's the door as well, and you can go in there and have a look around. I've added a couple of floors to it and some windows to make it look good and realistic. You can climb up a ladder. I won't go inside now, but you can look inside the window there, and there's a ladder. You can walk up the ladder and get up onto the top and come out the door here and have a walk round. And again, like I described on the other end, there'll be signs all over the place. On this side they'll be talking about this lighthouse, and they'll also give lots of information about the Eddystone lighthouses, which are out to sea, as that's all part of the Plymouth coastal history and stuff, with Smeaton's Tower being on the Hohen shorefront in Plymouth. So it'll give details of the various lighthouses that were built out there and how long they lasted and who designed them and everything else. And that'll be cool. You got these blocks as well. These are here in real life. With in real life, there's these kind of circular type anvil type things. I've just put these cracked anvils on there for the effect. And there's another one over here. In real life, what these were here for were they connected large metal netting, I believe, to them, which stretched out across the Plymouth Sound to a fort on the other side of the coast over there. And they'd raise and lower this netting during war times they'd lower it to they'd lower it possibly to let out our naval ships, and then they'd raise it up to protect us in Plymouth from attacking submarines, German submarines and such. So I've included those on there. As you can see, there's an island over here, so I've got to get rid of that island. It takes a long time to actually just sort of get rid of the island, so I've kept that one here for now. You can see another block of land over in the distance over there, but in the final product those will all be gone, so it will just look like it's open sea. And then again, like I said, there'll be all the blocks around. And around this side you got the nice curved effect, and a pier over here as well, a little pier. And that's about as far as I've got. I thought I extended all of this down to the bottom of the sea, but apparently I haven't. I've just forgotten that. So again, that all needs to be done, but it just takes an awful long time. But as you can see, it's coming along quite nicely, I think. If I go up into the air and look at it from the sky view. There we go. And that's how it looks in real life from sky view, but with many more man-made concrete blocks lining the edges of the breakwater there. And that's as far as I've got with the western arm then for now. Thank you very much for watching my video. Have a nice day.